Hello everyone, welcome to my part 1 of my top 20 favorite Twisty puzzles. So before you decide to watch this, you should know that I'm mostly going to be showing hard Twisty puzzles and not easy, quote, the easy Twisty puzzles like the 3x3x3. Because, I don't know, it is a great puzzle, but, you know, it doesn't interest me as much as the hard puzzles, so I really do want to show more of the harder puzzles here. So to start that off, let's start with the Professor Pyraminx, and this was the first hard puzzle I got. It really got me into the harder puzzles more so, and I'm not a huge fan of Pyraminx, but because this is a lot harder, it made it into the list. Number 19. The Master Skewb. And like the Pyraminx, I'm not a huge fan of Skewbs either, but this does not solve like a regular Skewb. This is much harder, and it's a great puzzle. It's a little bit repetitive to solve, but it is definitely a hard puzzle, so I would recommend getting it. Number 18 is the Gem Cube 3, and this is probably going to be the easiest puzzle in the list, so that should give you an idea of what I'm about to show you after this. This turns on the square faces and on the, I guess, pentagon or hexagon faces, and it is probably my favorite. Well, yeah, it is my favorite gem cube out of the 8 that are released, and yeah, not much else to say about it. I just really like it. I also like the fact that I have the blue limited edition here, so that's pretty cool. And what do we have here? Number 17 is the 2x4x6. Probably the hardest mass-produced cuboid out there, but it's not my favorite solve. It is a great puzzle though, so if you want a hard cuboid, yeah, go for this. But again, yeah, I think there are better cuboids out there, and you will see that in this video, which ones I think are better. Okay, number 16. I'm kind of going to contradict myself here, but I'm going to go for the Squished Skewb. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Skewbs, but because of the shape and the size, I just think this is a really, really cool puzzle. It definitely shapeshifts when you turn it, and because the orientation of the centers matters, it makes it a lot harder than the regular Skewb, so I had to include it in this list. Okay, coming in at number 15, the Octastar Cube. And if you don't know how this works, well, what you do is you basically turn this up here. You can now turn this 45 degrees, and you can turn that now. And what I really like about this is that it bandages, and it gets super, super messed up, and like it looks like a big pile of, you know, messiness when it's all scrambled, and it just looks like no one could ever figure it out. But yeah, it's not impossible. It's definitely doable. It just takes some time. So I've included it there. Okay, number 14, the Mix-Up Plus 4x4x4. And, okay, loud noise. Believe it or not, this is the first cuboid, or not cuboid, but the first cube in the Mix-Up series that I got. And it took me forever to figure out how to solve this, but I did eventually get it on my own, and it was hard. And again, if you don't know how this works, you can basically turn a center slice like that, and then turn this like so. And yeah, you can do that with multiple slices also here, so yeah, it's a fun puzzle, quite challenging, so say hi to my cat. And yeah. Okay, number 13, the Ghost Cube. Ooh, spooky. No, I do like this cube because it's the hardest 3x3x3 mod out there, and it's a big mess when it's all scrambled, and it's just I just really like how when you solve it, there's so many pieces that look so similar to each other that you don't even realize you've put them in the wrong spot until you get to the end of the solve. So I think that's really fun about this puzzle. You have to kind of disrupt your solve to fix it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, number 12. The Void Master Pentultimate, which currently has its centers in. Yeah, this puzzle, when I got it, I thought it would be the same solve as the Curvy Star Minx. It's not. It's a lot harder than the Curvy Star Minx is. My complaint about this, though, is the turning is just awful. It's terrible, and I even had this like split into two pieces when I was solving it, so I had to put it back together, and I mean it really doesn't turn well, but because it's such a difficult solve, it had to make the list. So probably the hardest dodecahedron I own. Alright, let's do this. Number 11. Well, I talked about cuboids earlier and how the 2x4x6 was not my favorite. So what is? Well, it's this guy, the 3x4x5. And it only shapeshifts in this direction here. It can't shapeshift turning this way now. Just like that. But yeah, that actually does make it a little bit of a harder solve. Not quite as hard as the 2x4x6, which is, it's even on all layers, so it can shapeshift every way. But yeah, there was a parody on this that screwed me up for the longest time, and I didn't figure out how to solve that. So yeah, this is my favorite cuboid. All right. So that is part 1, and if you want to see part 2, where I do number 10 to 1 with honorable mentions, stick around and watch that. You can click the link here.